Guys, we are here at a very special place. This is the Frau Holle Teich, the the uh, the what's it called? Mother Hulda Pond, and this place is ancient and it has a big place in the local mythology and folklore because apparently young women would go here and swim if they wished for children, and the statue there, the figure up there, this is actually artistic artistical view of the Frau Holle or Mother Hulda, however you want to call her. Actually, I read a bit into the topic, and yeah, it's not so quite clear if Frau Holle is rather the deception of Frigga or Freya or Diana or some other goddess. So it's a bit difficult to see. So I will invest more into this topic and to give you more open view about the thing. Here, as at always at all points, we have a parking place, and here we have a map of the area. Same map we had on the other place. And yesterday, last time we went here, and then we returned here to the parking space where the car. So we went basically here. Actually, I think this point, if you want to go with the family for just a short hiking tour, this would be perfect to go like here to the Kalbe Mountain, or maybe visit there, see the lake and everything. Quite interesting. So today we want to go here, up there, to there's probably a viewing point as well, and then we'll see if we continue or return. Not quite sure how our condition is today, but yeah, we have two ways up, a more difficult one and an easier one, and I will go with the more difficult one for starting, because I have my daughter here as the last time, and as much as I like the carrying thing, if you go downhill on a difficult ground, it's difficult because you cannot see your feet so good. So it's better if you can plan your way. If you know where it's more difficult, it's better to go down on the easier ways and up on the more difficult ones. So yeah, let's see how the way is actually. I think the Eulensteig is the way up. But which one is the easier one and which one is the more difficult one? Not quite sure. Yeah, we will have to find out. So here we are a bit near at the lady herself, and yeah, at the pond. As I said, it's not a very big pond, but very deep mythological place to be. So there are stories like that the plants growing here, these are the hairs of the children. And the interesting thing about Frau Holle or Mother Hulda is that she actually is an entity which is beyond us, is up above us, but to travel to her you have to go through a well. So you go down to go up. It's quite an interesting concept, no matter who or what she actually is meant to be in the traditional sense. And this lake could be speak mythological, like be a portal to her realm or her warren in our place. Actually, I don't know what this. Oh, I think we have some frogging going on. Hey guys, look over. So this is is all frog eggs. So the strange sounds are all the small frogs. I hope they catch well on video. Lukas, guck mal. Olha. Sapo. I was really wondering what all this strange sound is, but it's all the frogs here, which are love making or something. Mm-hmm. So many. Uh-huh. Yes, Sapo. So this was quite interesting that we were talking about this being a place where we would go to be more fertile, and we see all these frogs here laying eggs and making sounds. So quite a good analogy to the whole thing. My wife understands German better than I, which is quite natural, being a foreigner. So on the left side where we want to go now, this is this steil, which means steep. And the other way, this is a bit longer, but bequem, which means comfortable. So we're going to go the not comfortable way up, and then go the comfortable way down. It's always a good idea. I'm mostly doing it because of the baby, but it's also usually the down way, which is much more challenging on the journey, and also the place where you much easier get hurt and injure yourself. So it's always a bit better to be cautious about the downway. The upway is usually not so much of a problem. And in hiking and mountaineering, it's not like the way that everywhere you get up, you go down. So the downway is actually the point where we have to put our attention. So here we have remembrance pledge for the 1963 Meißner Fest. There was a big meet of the German youth movement here in 1913, and the youth movement, this was the, I think, Wandervögel, which was like youth movement of going hiking and back to the nature. So very unpolitical movement, which formed in the middle days of the Second German Reich, and they in 1913 they met here. I think my son is a bit grumpy today, so probably will not even make the little bit which we had planned, but let's see, maybe he come around, and now he has fun. Yeah. In a kind of interpass, and I think this one is supposed to be the way, and this one not, with the marking there. Not as easy to tell sometimes. Yeah, well, let's try this one here. It's not clear. It's not so clear if this is the way or this is the way. We will see. What's up? Yeah, so here's a bit of a rock slide. Oh, it's quite beautiful. And there's the mother. Oh, how's she got it? I also got it. Mother Hulda Pond. Yeah, that's savage Frau Holle. This is the whole theme. Yeah, I think this will be the most difficult part of the trip today. We really went the wrong way. From maybe was the better way. Who knows? Seems we have to revisit this place sometime soon. But now we have ray markings again. So. There's also some rocks and moss and little trees, and yeah, the whole theme, little kids. Probably equipped with sticks, and this was almost a rhyme here. So not quite sure if these stones are all from the mining operation, if this was a rock dump, or if they just happened to lie around this way. So if anybody has any idea, write it in the comments. But here's a really beautiful way, a really beautiful part of the trail, and many baby trees, German babies. Just wondering if this is a natural thing or if somebody painted the rock there. Quite sure. Looks as if it could be a natural thing. So it's not called the old fart for no reason. Not? We are debating if this is is a face or not? I see a face. I see faces everywhere and they talk to me all the time. Missed when you come to sign this way. No, probably this part of the way you could go separately and you could go down there. There's the way Mark 6 again, which we traveled on last time. And probably up there there's the point where we started carrying my son last time. So hopefully this is not a bad omen. Picture of a eagle owl, or as we call it, uhu, which funny thing is also a very popular brand of adhesive in Germany. So yeah, probably they are living here. They're the biggest owls I think in Europe as last. Yeah, and there are several couples breeding here in the region. I think this is the exact point where we left off. Here's my hand. Where we left off last time. We have to go all this way down again. From right. If we manage to go up there without falling down, it's not so. It's not that bad actually. And probably because we lost the trail. We maybe went for a much better trail than the actual trail. Cannot underdo it with ray markings. Yeah, so now we are on the bigger trail. There was where we were coming last time, so there's the Kalbe. And if you were going for a smaller ride, you could just go there to the sea and the mountain and enjoy that instead of us going to this direction. That's two German laugh. So here was it's actually in the winter there's I don't know, we call it Langlauf, this skiing without going uphill or downhill stuff, which you sometimes do with the rifle. Oh, then we maybe have a falcon. I'm not quite sure if we get him quite as good on video. Or some other carrion, not some other vulture or carnivore bird. So this part of the trail is not as interesting, but there's another rock slide, and this seems to be either quite old or quite natural, because the mine is way over there. But I could be mistaken. Not quite the expert in the. See how a true evergreen forest looks. As you can see, you cannot see very much. It's very deep, very dark. So this mixed kind of forest like we have here, not on this side, but up there. For me personally, this is much more interesting because there's much more variety in plants and animals living here, and also it's not as dark and closed up. For example, this part here where maybe it's a little bit better for animals hiding in there, but mostly they're really looking like wastelands. If the forests are all in this way for a bigger stretch of land. So here's a bigger area which is nearly deprived of big trees, which could be the result of one of the bigger storms in last years, like Kirill or Lothar. Or we want to go to the Kunicross. There's like a resting house, maybe a little bit of a view as well. There's experimentation field of how it's called. Some regional trees which are very rare, which they want to try if they can reforest with them. Actually, you see there a hunter has his hut, and there's one as well. So it's probably a space where some animal crossing is going on, and they're sitting there all the time and shooting them down. This is the famous Kasseler Hütte on the Kasseler Kuppe, which is one of the peaks here at 750 meters. I think we have somewhere around there. It's about 4 meters higher than here. It's about the highest point of the mountain and with the least view because there's so many trees around, so you cannot see anything. So the other mountain on the other side there was much more interesting in this regard. So, but here you could take a break, make a lunch, and don't forget to take all your trash with you, because as always, what you take on the mountain you take down, or what you take into the preserve you take out with you. Should not leave any trash behind. So we exchanged, well, I put my son there, and I think he has about 18 kilograms, so something like 40 pounds. My wife is carrying my daughter, she's also sleeping. He's not quite sleeping, but he will sleep in about a second. So, and for me, it's quite comfortable with the Ergo baby, with him there. Even if it's for a backpack, it would be probably too much. I think with all the stuff and the clothes, it comes close to 20 kilograms. This is 45 pounds. I think for most people this is too much for a backpack. But with this stuff, I don't find it so extensively. Same thing with the front carry. It's also a big weight for carrying around on the front of your body. But it's, I think, a bit because they are so close to your center of mass, you're actually not does not throw you off balance as much as a big backpack would, or a front pack of any kind. And also for me it's much more comfortable carrying this. I think, I don't know if I ever had, I think like my 20 kilogram what's called, my English today is terrible. That if you have it like your baggage in the plane, if this is at 20 kilograms, this is quite extremely heavy and difficult to carry around compared to this. So guys, so I forgot to film. We're already on the nicer way down to this Frau Holle Teich. So everybody small is sleeping and we have to walk, but we're almost there. So I see over there in about a minute, and we will watch a bit more of the frogs. So here we have a small, something like a creek. Not quite sure if this is a permanent thing. We also saw another one directly on the other side. So I think this is probably the stuff which is going into the Frau-Holle Lake Teich. It has to be right in front of us somewhere, I think. But really beautiful. It has such small rivers here. I'm not quite sure if they have water all year. We have some flowers. They only have this time of year to bloom, because afterwards, when the trees are all green, there's not much more light on the ground. So they really have to use this window of opportunity to grow, and it's really beautiful. Okay, we want to go the Eulensteig as well. So here's a small round way, probably. Oh, there's another way, so we definitely have to return another day to take this one, and then go to the Kalbe, but I think not today. The kids are really sleeping. And here we have also small creeks going around, and the front is already the Frau Holle Teich. I think this water is going straight there.
Irgendwie sind die witzig.
Oh, da ist die Frische.
Was?
Das ist noch viel mehr als vorhin jetzt. Oder wir sehen sie besser.
Da hinten dran hat diese ein.
Krabbeln aufeinander rum, im Wasser rum. As you can see, they're still quite active here, the guys. Even more so, I think, or maybe it's better. We can see them a bit better now. I'm not quite sure where they are living, but they're more than surely breeding here. I don't think they're crossing the street here, so they have to come somewhere from the florists themselves. Quite interesting. Usually in Germany we always have this spring and fall when the frogs are on their pilgrimage to their breeding grounds. You have always warning signs on the roads. But I'm not quite sure if this is a species which is staying more. I don't want to be the guy on the bottom here. If this is a species which stays all the time in the pond, or if they're actually going on a pilgrimage. Here we have a different word. I think we call them trouts, the ones which are more or less living outside of the water, but these are maybe more kind of frogs. I think biologically speaking, there's no real distinction between it. It's not so much of a real biological thing. It's more like folklore that we are taking one for frogs and one for trouts. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this small voyage here. I will go now to the some motorbikes going by. We go to the map and show you where we went. Almost was the planned way. So yeah, did quite well. Was all as expected. Yeah, we saw a fox there, but I hadn't the camera ready to film him. I think the frogs have been the highlight. It's still the highlight of the day. There's so many of them. Let's see where we went today. We started here. I think we went this side of the ray up. Then here. There were the famous. I'm still in the camera here. Then we went here to the famous Kasseler Kuppe. And then we returned. We went here, down here. I think we missed this stick here to go there. And then we went a bit here. And then we crossed here into the forest and went there back. I think has to be either here. I don't think we went as far as here. It's to be like here where we went, and then we returned and went the other way. Could be that this was this. I think it was more like this here, this track where we went, the blue one. So I think this was more like the way we returned, and see, as always, I forget to stop the kilometers right when we started. So probably 6 or 7 kilometers which we went. Quite nice. Also, I just discovered that we have here a stroke where we can they could actually go to the P2 premium hiking way. So could extend it a bit above their 13 kilometers. Certainly the P1 way here is the 13 kilometer way, and we have so much on all sides that on this way you can double or triple it, especially if you like go like all this stuff here too. This is not the same on all ways, but on this upper here, this is the P8 way, it's on the same map. You have almost the same situation. You can like double or triple the way without any problems. So it's also quite interesting. P8 would be, but would be only 7 kilometers. It's not all 13 kilometers, just some of them. And also you see the bigger ways like the Grimm, which is the red here. This is like a bigger way in the region. So, yeah, here on this map is actually the Grimm is missing, which I think it's somewhere here around. Here it says 70 kilometers, but I think by now it's 83 kilometers. So this is not quite up to this map is not up to date, but I think for the important stuff, which is here, it should be all fine. And we found a foldable version of this one free in the tourist information. It has a schlichte now, but they said me that they are going out of print, so could be that we don't get them anymore. And in case I'm repeating myself, this is mostly because I don't want to make kind of a narrative. I want to like have you should be able to watch every video without watching all the others. This is the reason I repeat myself so often. Also, probably I forget everything I said before and have to repeat it for that reason, but let's not talk about this anymore. So I hope you really enjoyed this small hike with the family. Yeah, and yeah, we will do some more, and then when we really notice the place, we will maybe recommend some routes of our own. I think, especially, I can say by now, this tour here to the Kalbe, this is probably, from what we saw right now, this will be the more interesting stuff. But we didn't went all the way here, so we haven't seen anything here, this area yet. So probably we are missing out a whole lot there. And also the Barfußfahrt here, the barefoot part. If it's warmer than today, really big recommendation, but we will make a video on this as well. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope to see you soon in another video.